Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your daily crypto news. As always, leaving a comment, leaving a like, or subscribing, all of these things do help the channel. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you not looking at the screen, it says technical analysis. Bitcoin resumes decline. Why Bitcoin could revisit $35,000 at the moment. The market is down, the same as every other market on the planet. It says Bitcoin and Ethereum break key support. Altcoins dive. That one's a bit dramatic. It's not as bad as that seems. It says technical analysis. Ethereum revisits 2,500. Why recovery could be capped. At the moment, if you haven't noticed, the cryptocurrency market, like I said, is definitely down. For some reason, one thing that really took the news in cryptocurrency news was the fact that gold has actually risen over the course of every single asset on the planet, falling in price. The really weird thing is, I think gold is now $2,000 per ounce. Once again, it's still only up by like 2, maybe 3% over the course of the last 10 or so years. However, a large number of cryptocurrency websites made sure to announce that while Bitcoin fell, gold was seen as the safer option, if you will. And one of the really, now I'll tell you this because it's something that's gone through my mind before, especially now with everything going on. I understand the prospect of gold being a safe haven asset because that's the narrative that it's been given, especially over the last 100 or so years around the world, because humans for some reason still dig up metal out of the ground and assume that that has value. But even more so, I would assume, here's my logical thinking. A lot of these people are or aren't buying physical gold. And I'll tell you why I'm talking about both. The people who aren't buying physical gold as a way of saying, well, hey, I'm trying to protect my money by buying pieces of paper that reflect that I have said gold. If something horrendous did happen and the markets did fall, well, if you try to redeem that gold with a piece of paper, you aren't going to get your gold. The other side is when people are buying actual physical gold, especially in a moment like right now, once again, I would assume that in a moment of conflict or uncertainty, if I'm trying to bring all the wealth that I have to secure food and housing for me and my family, am I doing it in a gigantic pillowcase that's filled with large pieces of metal that is extremely heavy that I may not be able to cross borders with? Or am I doing all that on my phone where my ID, my passport, and also my cryptocurrency wallet can be stored? You understand what I mean? It's just a really weird. There were a lot of other websites also talking about the how gold is doing extremely well, but I don't think people actually realize what would do better in a situation where you're trying to flee, get to safety, or just in general. I'd rather have something that's always connected to the internet. Can you imagine trying to, let's say you're trying to leave from Italy all the way to like California. I know it's a bit of a stretch. Would you rather just have your phone in your pocket? Or would you rather have you, your wife, and your kids all holding gigantic bags full of metal? So anyway, gold prices are currently up. A lot of people are talking about its safe haven status once again, especially when compared to Bitcoin. I've noticed that, and I think I've come to the logical conclusion that people who trade in the cryptocurrency market care nothing about decentralization. I'm going to say a good 95%. It's more about these manic, rapid movements that they're used to from the stock market. If something looks like it's going to go down, you make sure that you sell the majority of your position so that the market will not drop with you holding the bag, as the kids say. But then the other portion comes from a lot of these new people who are into the cryptocurrency market, treat the cryptocurrency market the same way as they would the stock market. And therefore, anything that looks like it's happening in the other markets has to then be replicated in the cryptocurrency market with these very quick, rapid, impulsive movements. And that's as far as I can really get as to why the Bitcoin's price would be falling, especially as we've had news that during this event, people in these countries are actually buying up tons of Bitcoin to be able to, here we go, just simply hold it on their phones as they're trying to get somewhere else. It says Bitcoin holds around $38,000 while Asian stocks tumble. As is to be expected, stock markets around the world continue to fall because of Russia. There's no other really easy way to kind of say that. Everything that they're doing is, or a small group of people in said country are doing, is affecting the entire world, and it's absolute nonsense at this point. And it wasn't nonsense from the very beginning. Let me make that explicitly clear. This not only should not be happening, but it's like we were just getting towards the end of 19. And then this has to happen, of course, because anyway, so yeah, oil prices have shot up. It says since their highest in 2008. People are expecting them to go a lot higher. There's a lot of news floating around about inflation fears, stagflation happening, us getting back to the 1970s and 1980s of the world monetarily, economically, just doing absolutely terribly. It says Dow futures fall more than 300 points as oil prices spike to a multi-year high. This one says market life update. Indices near day's low. Sensex tanks 1,900 points. Realty Auto Bank's worst hit. Yeah. So at the moment, everything is down. I still see not as many people as before, thank the goodness, discussing why cryptocurrencies are down as if it's some like actual weird anomaly that people can't seemingly figure out. This is affecting all markets, and this is why we are currently in this situation. To only put a dirty, rotten cherry on top of that, in a report published on Saturday, the International Monetary Fund, or the IMF, has warned that an ongoing issue in Europe and associated sanctions will have a severe impact on the global economy. The IMF's report says that there is extraordinary uncertainty in the air, and the international financial institution believes economic consequences are already very serious. The idea being that even just from the last 2 weeks, the world is fudged. And therefore, if this actually continues on and supply chains continue to break and we see more printing of money, I just hit my computer. Hope they didn't do anything. I don't think it did anything. You kind of get the idea. This was also tied into, there was a recent publication by someone, I think from the IMF or somewhere else, basically announcing that we are seeing the signals of a recession, and that this recession is allegedly going to be 10 times worse than the Great Depression. For those of you who are not keeping track or keeping count, we have seen these signals for a number of years, also in the normal, traditional financial world. The idea being, as we've gone over before, the events of 2008, 2009 were never actually fixed. Money was simply printed and thrown, like literally thrown at the stock market to make sure that it continued to rise and or leveled off and or moved up higher. The problem is you, in order to fix a broken system like this one, you basically have to start all over. That's not me saying like, yeah, Bitcoin. It's just the honest truth. There's so much corruption and so much nonsense going on in every single world market right now because it's just being held up by people who are printing tons of money, who are making sure that everything looks the same. If we had let the market collapse, we'd be, 14 years later, we would be at a much healthier economy that would more logically reflect, especially the last 2 years of events that have gone on. When the money stops being printed, markets will collapse. If money continues to be printed and we see even larger inflation numbers than we've ever seen before, especially over the last 50, 60, 70 years, the market will collapse. There's only one way to get to the end of this road. So it just so happens that the current mess that we are all in, yes, this affects you too, is actually only making things worse. And if it continues on any longer, this will affect everyone. I was reading an article, like a more detailed article as to what is expected to happen. And it was from the perspective of the US and the UK more so. I guess it was an English speaking writer. And they were saying that if you've already been impacted by the petrol prices, the oil prices, the gas prices, the heating prices, especially in many homes right now, heating has gone up by around 40 to 50, 60% in many parts of the world, especially within the United Kingdom. I was also watching a documentary about that as well. I'll start to remember to continue posting the documentaries that I'm watching onto Twitter so you can all kind of follow along and see when I say these things, I'm not simply throwing them out of thin air. I'm watching actual reports on it. I lost my train of thought. Yes, the idea being, if they're this level right now, if all these sanctions continue and the supply chains continue to break and we have the momentum that we have, expect prices to kind of 2 or 3x from where they currently are. I know that sounds absolutely horrifying, but that's the effects of what's happening right now, and also the money printing, that basically we will see prices basically double and or triple potentially by the end of this year, sometime the middle of next year. But you should be even seeing the effects of that happening right now. Anyway, bringing it all back, that's all the price news. And I say all in light quotes. There was, of course, a lot more, but it basically focused on the event of what's happening and how other prices around the world are going to be going up, while commodities are expected to continue to tumble until this is all over with. So that's all the price news. And yeah, let's move on. In the most popular, unpopular news story of the day, DeFi architect, Phantom Foundation, technical advisor, and Yearn Finance founder Andre Kanji, I don't know how to say it, I can't even figure that out, has left the DeFi space reeling after deactivating his Twitter account. Kanji's longtime colleague at the Phantom Foundation, Anton Nell, stated in a Sunday tweet that both he and Kanji were leaving the crypto space entirely. However, concerns rose after the fate of roughly 25 decentralized applications and services have been operating up to now. Phantom Opera is a layer 2 Ethereum scaling solution. That was a weird way to end that paragraph. Here's the tweet for it right here. It says, Andre and I have decided that we are closing the chapter of contributing to the DeFi crypto space. There are around 25 apps and services that we are terminating on the 3rd of April 2022. Among the affected apps and services are Yearn, Keeper, Multi-Chain, Chainlist, and Bribe. Okay. And the new Solidly exchange. Okay. The community's reaction to Nell's announcement have been generally sympathetic, as many understand that the duo likely need a mental break from the immense rigors of their work. Other disgruntled investors have not been so kind with their words, as token prices and TVL have tanked. So as far as I understand it, and now bear with me here, because if you know me, I don't get into all these other random new coin projects because of things like this. This is exactly why. A lot of times when people hear about something, we've gone over this a couple of days ago. I hope that you watched the video as to what true decentralization means. A lot of people, when they get into these projects, they hear that it's DeFi or decentralized, and therefore cannot be stopped, will not be stopped, or will not be shut down or whatever, based on what they've heard from other people. I don't know these people. I could really care less as to what they've said or have gone over the last couple of years in the DeFi space. But the amount of panic that I saw that they were announcing that they were stopping these services and terminating around roughly 25 apps in about a month, let me know once again that tons of people are just in the space for the money. Why people don't understand the importance of decentralization and the idea of immutable coins, transactions, or blockchains that you could use at any time. There's no one behind the scenes that says, hey, I'm leaving Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin's price would drop. But is this way for every other coin? I'm not going to ramble on for too long on this one, but this was the most, the word's not popular. This was the most common news story of the, I don't know what other word to use there. This has happened across nearly every single project at some point. The head of the project has left, whether it be from mental exhaustion, because the cryptocurrency space is very, very, very exhausting. And the other part of it basically being maybe they just want to do other things in their lives, but the same is with Litecoin, the same is with other people. Remember when a couple of years ago, Vitalik said that he at some point would be leaving Ethereum, and I think the price fell by 16% that day. He was like, he said, this can't be fully decentralized if every time that I say something, the price ends up moving. So at some point, Vitalik will also leave the project, probably the same as Joseph Lubin, and expect a price drop of around 10, 15, 20% in the next couple of years whenever that actually ends up happening. So the news of the day is 2 people have left the DeFi sector. They have apparently deleted their Twitter accounts, and a lot of people are very, very upset and think that they should not have done so. It's their lives. Let them do what they want to do. I don't know how really to end this story at all, but this was the most commonly viewed, seen, printed, created news story of the day. Just make sure, and I know only 3 people are listening. Hello, 3 people. That your money, or at least if you plan on allocating money into the DeFi space, that you understand that there are still risks associated with every single thing that you put your money into. Nothing is a sure bet. Nothing. Look at world markets right now. Anyway, that's the Yearn Finance is down because of the creator's departure. Sure. Let's move on. And to finish things off, the American Retail and Pharmacy Corporation, CVS, is looking to enter the Metaverse according to trademark filings registered with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. The filing mentions things like CVS Health brand downloadable virtual goods and crypto collectibles. I could never find a better time to put something into stupid news. This is probably one of the weirdest things that we've gotten in a long time. Giant CVS has filed a series of trademark filings with the USPTO on the 28th of February, and the registrations were published on the 4th of March. The CVS Health trademark filing discusses a number of virtual items and NFT concepts. They said downloadable virtual goods, namely a variety of consumer goods, prescriptions, health, wellness, beauty, personal care products, and general merchandise for use online and in online virtual worlds. Remember when we heard that some sports team was going to be building a virtual stadium inside of the metaverse, and I was like, we already have real stadiums. Or people can simply put on a headset if, depending on what you want to do. Put on a headset or look at your computer to watch the game or recaps of the game. Maybe you want a completely immersive experience. Sure, why not? That also works. And then we had news that there were a number of car companies who were also making cars in the metaverse. And I was like, hey, in a metaverse where anything is possible and gravity doesn't exist and you can fly around and do whatever you want on fantastic mythical creatures, why would I want a Honda inside of the metaverse? The same thing happened with H&M. I think that ended up being false news, but there are other clothing brands. I get it. I would rather be able to bring up a portal and then kind of choose the clothes that I want and take the clothes out, and it's kind of all magical and really, futuristic, as opposed to actually going into a digital H&M store or any other store and literally having to peruse and browse through the aisles. The idea of CVS selling shampoo, health and wellness and beauty products, what is that going to... I mean, this is probably the dumbest thing in the entire world. This is really giving me pets.com vibes. And I mean, like, it is 1998. Everyone's losing their mind over this brand new thing called the internet. And they're all trying to make their own website. There is no need, not here nor in the metaverse, for CVS to be anywhere near the metaverse. Not at all. And the really crazy part is, there's another company reading this right now, and they're like, we have to do the exact same. So something in your country that deals with makeup or I don't even know, whatever these people are selling. This is stupid. CVS does not need NFTs or need to be anywhere near virtual world. Anyway, that's the CVS news. I saw this and I thought it was a joke. It's not a joke. This is... All right. Moving on. Yeah, very short video today. All the other news was just about Russia. Everything. Every single other story that was out there. If you can read what's on the screen... buddy boy, go for it. Every other story, that's all they were. And it gets a bit tiring to continuously see this in the news and then also have to do this on the channel as well. But yeah, hopefully things stop. I didn't even want to say get resolved, like just simply stop it so that we as a planet can move on, because this is completely nonsensical. Yeah. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters: GBU Wally, formerly known as Professor Wally; Bubble Mode, hello to you; Darren Davis, How's Life Austin; Jamie Saad, Blockchain Simplified, and Let's Move On. Like, really, can we please move on as a society? Chris, Hakeem Wilkins, Empire Queen, Stake It With Valor, Fudd Weiser, Mortified, Roman Gaba, Bitcoin Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealer's Den, Red Plum Tomato, Umnu, Wish Nikki, The Letter M, Not Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way Lay, Crypto Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy655, and Carlos was like, Mobarazi, Jojo Shaw, Show, VB Nerd 21, Miguel Grolay, Lauren De Silva, Quoted Biddy, Bare Bones Mining, Troy Allgood, Space Case, Nita Miracle, Pat Turnoster, Conan Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banan, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman High, XRP, Martin Stoyo, Nostromo, John Sarsen, The Animal Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd, Mullis, Adam, Graysick, Moha Maroni, Master Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Cole D3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richie Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Man, Gialavori, Jim Garner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitch Test Every Day, and Kyle Skips Leg Day, Yes to Crypto, Bodemic Boatface, Anytime Fitness, Monk's Corner Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger Macho Nisa, All Crypto with Lionel, Crayola Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. Thank you all very, very much for your continued support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, has commented, or who has subscribed. And I do notice, believe me, I do, when I see all the people leaving multiple comments or leaving whatever kind of comments you want to leave, or even if I have asked before at the end of a video to leave something, like when I say like write magic internet money, I can't say hello to all of you personally through every single comment, but thank you very, very much for all of the continued support and effort. I really do appreciate it. At the moment, Bitcoin is at 38,328. We are down by 2%. To be fair, we were here a couple of weeks ago. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. We hit 44,000 just a couple of days or whatever ago. But before that, this is exactly where we were. Remember, we were talking about, hey, Bitcoin's really close to 40,000. So, I mean, a 2% drop is not ideal, but at least it's not a 21% drop at the exact same time. So Bitcoin's price is basically where we were before, like a couple of weeks ago. Ethereum is at 2,500. It is down by 3%. It looks like there's some kind of momentum to move back up. I'm going to assume as the day drags on, if the other world markets open and then fall, we may see the same exact thing with Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market as well, because this just seemingly seems to be the pattern. I don't think anything has really bucked the trend, but they're definitely all following the magnetism of Bitcoin right now, looking like they're trying to move back up. OKB is up by 0.75%. Okay, these are just compound coins. With $62 of trading volume. Where's IOTA? I don't know. I do hope that you've all enjoyed in some sort of way. I know the news is a bit down at the moment. It is not my fault. I do hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening. Hope you have a great start to your week. Wherever you are, wherever you might be, I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening and or supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.